Hello and welcome to episode 14 of the Roma Revolution. I'm Ben, and coming up on today's episode we have a Champions League group game against Chelsea, and that is followed by the Derby della Capitale in Serie A. But before all that, I do just have another one of my thank yous to give you. This time last week I set us the challenge of getting to 50 subscribers before the end of week 2 of the channel being up and running, and we've smashed it. We've got to 52, so I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for your continued support on the channel. I hope you're still enjoying the videos. I'm certainly still enjoying making them, and I'm excited to see how the channel will grow. Of course, if you are new and you're not yet subscribed, do subscribe down below, and also go and check out the past episodes in the series. But without further ado, let's get stuck into some Football Manager, and let's firstly see how things have been going since the last episode. And the form has been pretty good. A couple of disappointing results, the main one being the 1-1 draw against Lecce. As you can see, we were undone by a late goal by Jose Izquierdo in the 84th minute. Very similar feeling to last year, this one, when we were really dominating the game. We played quite well, but we just came unstuck and couldn't quite see a victory over the line. We then had a couple of good wins as well in Serie A against Cagliari and Atalanta, and a fantastic comeback draw against Bologna. We did not play well at all, and as you can see, 2-0 down with just over 20 minutes to go, and we managed to come back and salvage that one 2-2 through two set pieces, actually. Pellegrini with the delivery on both, Cristante and Settin with some headed goals. And in amongst all of that, we also were able to beat Besiktas 2-0 in the second Champions League group game. And all of that has put us second in Serie A by 4 points over Juventus, who have played 8 and won 8. So they're going to be really tough to catch this year. And we are also second in our Champions League group. So a massive game today against Chelsea, who are third. Leipzig running away with it a little bit. And this is the team we're going to try and put out to get one over on Chelsea and put ourselves in a solid chance of qualifying as second in the group. It's Farines in goal, a back four of Kolarov, Mancini, Todibo and Spinazzola. Tonali, Cristante and Pellegrini pair up again in the midfield, with Malejo and Zaniolo in behind Mason Greenwood up front, whose form has certainly continued. He's not scored in the last couple of games, but he is flying. He's had 8 appearances in total for the club, I believe. 8 goals, and he's absolutely flying through the start of the season. He's been a brilliant signing so far. Fingers crossed he can just return to that goal-scoring form and forget about the couple of game blip that he has had. Chelsea, obviously a very young side, and it seems like they've tried to keep that young core throughout them. They've obviously got Reece James, Tomori. Radabal is a young player that they brought in, I believe, from Sociedad. Ziyech, obviously, from Ajax. Hudson-Odoi on this left-hand side. Abraham, Mount and Loftus-Cheek lying on the bench with Pulisic. So it's going to be a really tough team to break down. But similar to us in a way, maybe the youth might see a bit of inexperience in the side that we can capitalise on. We are underdogs, but let's go and give the fans something to cheer for. And fingers crossed, as I say, a win would put us in a really good position to potentially qualify out of the group. As you see, Leipzig have already played Besiktas. 3 games, 2 wins and a draw for them. We could do with a good result against Chelsea today, who will obviously leapfrog us with a win, but we could increase the gap to 4 points if we can win. So that would be really good. Besiktas probably out of it completely now. We completely dominated that game against them. So I'd be confident that there is at least 3 more points coming our way later on in the group stages. But obviously we probably do need to beat one of Chelsea and Leipzig, if not both, if we're going to make it through to the knockout stages. And the first highlight is coming the 35th minute of the game, and it looks like it's going to be Chelsea's, with Azpilicueta trying to bomb down this left hand side, but Zaniolo does well to hold him up, and it's in with Kovacic. However, are we going to see a Chelsea chance? Ziyech cutting inside on this right hand side, finds Azpilicueta, who started to move all off. Back to Kovacic, Kante, we're not letting him through as of yet, but James and Ziyech can link up and there's a chance, it would seem. Ziyech into the box, ball across, Farenez with a great save. Ziyech had the opportunity to play the ball across the face of goal to his teammates. He went for goal instead, and Farenez with a fantastic save. The corner's fallen to Kovacic, but we've managed to nick it, and can Pellegrini break away and give us a chance of our own? He's got a chance to. He's gone past Azpilicueta and he's been brought down, and it's a free kick, but we're not going to see it, so it clearly wasn't that highlight worthy. We've not been great, we've been dominated, but we're still in the game, and that's the main thing. Kolarov's going to have a long throw on this left hand side. Greenwood is not going to get anywhere near him, and again there's now a chance for Abraham to break right down the middle, a massive space, and Farenez does well again. Abraham potentially a weak effort trying to beat Farenez at his near post. A massive gap in between our two centre backs for Abraham to run into, however, and now a bit of a melee in the box, and we've somehow cleared it away for a throw-in. Not been the greatest first half, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did go in 1-0 down. Kepa on the ball, right back in their own half. Azpilicueta, Kovacic, Christensen at the back. Can we now it off them? All the way back to Kepa, who's being pressed. Well, but he has managed to get the ball away, and they've got Ziyech on the right with an overlapping Reece James, and this could be a big Chelsea chance. Ziyech back to James, knocking it between the two of them, a ball across. We've beaten them to it, a chance to break, is it? Greenwood's got one-on-one with Tomori. He's round him. Can Greenwood beat Christensen? He's found Pellegrini! 1-0 Roma, an unexpected goal on the counter-attack. Ziyech with the chance to cross. It was well cleared in the end. And on the break, Greenwood does really well to get past Tomori in the early stages. Finds Pellegrini, who slots it home. His first goal of the season. And I said it looked like we were going to go in 1-0 down. Scrap that, ladies and gents. We're going in 1-0 up. A brilliant first half. We've not played well at all, but we have managed to get the goal. Complacency doesn't want to set in. If we can have a repeat of that in the second half, I am going to demand a little bit more. As I say, only 3 shots, 1 on target. Chelsea making much more of the ball than we have. But is that goal going to be the difference? Spinazzola with a poor header simply inside, and Hudson-Odoi with a chance. Abraham! Again, it's a weak effort, and Farenez is able to save in the goal. He's made a good few number of saves today. And it's not been Chelsea's day in front of goal as of yet, but it's not been our day with pretty much anything bar the goal, really, it would seem. And they're going to try and build from the back again. Tomori, Christensen, out to Azpilicueta. They have acres of space on the left, and no one's going to close him. Mount with a chance. It's fallen to Abraham, and it is 1-1. It's been coming. We have not been at the races at all. Changes are going to be made. It's not been the greatest performance. Nothing from the left-hand side at all. Melejo can come off. Bernard can come on. Kolarov off. He'll swap over with Spinazzola. And then Florenzi can come on to this right-hand side for him. Mount, they had acres of space on the left. No one there to be seen. Azpilicueta with the world at his mercy in front of him. Finds Mount, who has a go. Farenez really unlucky that it just falls to Abraham. And it is 1-1. But a result I believe I would take. Obviously a disappointing, seeing we were 1-0 up. But look at the stats. 15 shots for Chelsea. 14 on target. We've had 3. And the one shot we've had on target resulted in our goal. And I think if we're not careful, there's going to be a complete turnaround in the game. As James is found on the right hand side. Ball into Mount. And there we have it. It's been coming. We've not been good enough. We've been extremely poor, and it is now 2-1 Chelsea in a game which we have not turned up for. We're going to have to go attacking. Zaniolo's going to go into a more attacking role on this right-hand side. Spinazzola the same on the left. Pellegrini struggling for fitness in the middle, so Diawara can come on for him for the last 20 or so minutes. But this has not been the performance we were expecting. Lucky to go in at half-time 1-0 up. And now a mountain to climb, I think, looking at the way the game has been shaping, if we're going to get anything from the game. We're going to go very attacking, but Florenzi with the ball in. Zaniolo's found him in the back post. I think he's going to be offside, is he? He is. I thought we'd got our second. Florenzi with the ball across. It's incredibly tight. A game of margins, of course. Zaniolo slots it home. but it's not to be, and Kepa now going to build from the back for Chelsea. Tomori, he can only find Pulisic, he can. Spinazzola had a chance to really attack that and come on the break, but he didn't. James on the right, who's had a great game. Kovacic, is this going to be the winning goal for Chelsea? Mount it is! It's 3-1 Chelsea, and this result could well be the turning point in our Champions League campaign. We've not been good enough. We've not turned up. Chelsea have completely dominated us, and Mount has sealed the deal for them. 3 shots is all we've been able to muster. 4 now to their 21. How we were 1-0 up at half time is beyond me. And I think we might need to look at some tactical tweaks, because we have been completely outplayed by the young Chelsea team. And that could well be that for our Champions League run. The board want us to make the first knockout round. We need to get some really good results in the last 3 games if we're going to get there. But I will see you in a second for the big game of the episode, the Derby della Capitale against Lazio. Okay, then a couple of changes for the Lazio game coming up. We've got Cucurella in on this left-hand side for Kolarov. Mert set in partners Todibo in the centre of defence as opposed to Mancini. Tonali, Vetu and Cristante now the midfield 3, with Malejo and Zaniolo in behind Greenwood. Cristante and Pellegrini decided to injure each other in training, so Cristante is back from that injury, but Pellegrini is not. So neither of them featured for the game in between Chelsea and this one against Udinese, which we won 3-0. As you can see from the tactic, we had switched to a more of a possession style. I feel like what we were trying to do before, and it was very evident in the Chelsea game, we weren't in the games. We were being dominated by teams, and I think that isn't going to end up with us having many positive results, especially against the bigger teams. So fingers crossed a change to this from the start work. I changed it midway through the game against Udinese. We scored all 3 goals in the second half and we were really good. So hopefully that will be the case here as well. And obviously a massive game in Serie A. The Derby della Capitale. We got one over on them last season. Fingers crossed we can get one over on them again. And if results do go our way, there is a chance that we will also be top of Serie A at the end of this game. As you can see, there's only 2 points separating us and Juventus at the moment, so who knows what might happen. But in the 6th minute, a not ideal start. Mason Greenwood has been injured, so Patrick Schick can come on for him. Greenwood had been struggling in the last few games. He hadn't scored in a little while, a groin injury, so he might be out for a little while. And fingers crossed Schick can do the business like Greenwood was early on. But it's Memphis Depay with a free kick. Faranez saves, parries, but does gather it. And it's a really good save from Faranez from the initial free kick from Memphis Depay. And an early scare from Lazio. But as you can see, this is working a little bit better. We've had much more of the ball and we are creating chances from it. We obviously do just need to take those chances. And we've got Cucurella with a throw. Cristante back to Cucurella. Ball across. No one there, but Cristante does gather. Tonali, Vetu finds Florenzi. Is he going to cross? Hopefully he can. He can cross. He can find Cristante, who finds Malejo, I think, who's managed to miss from about 8 yards out. But it is another corner. Vetu with the ball in. Ramos heads away. Tonali's going to gather, but he's beaten to it, and a chance for Lazio to break through Maricic, but Tonali works his way back into the game. A big chance for Malejo from the left there, if we could have just got that early goal, but this is more like the stats I'm wanting to see from us. So maybe the change in tactic is what we needed. 10 shots, 71 possession. We're not letting Lazio have anything from the game. We just need to make it count. And at the moment, we haven't been able to do so despite having a couple of good chances. But is this one where we might be able to? Cucurella with the throw. Cristante, Schick coming inside. Patrick Schick, first goal of the season, and just on the stroke of half-time. Roma go 1-0 up. Schick, a player who was on loan from us last season. He's come back this season. He's not obviously been featuring much due to Greenwood's great form, but he's taken the opportunity coming into the first team. And he's scored his first Roma goal. 1-0 at half-time. Look at the stats. 12 shots, 68% possession. It's just a shame it's only 1-0. We can't get complacent, but we are 1-0 ahead in a Derby della Capitale, and fingers crossed we can make it more than that in this second half. We'd be level on points now with Juventus as it stands in their game. And at the moment, we're looking okay. We just need to make more of the ball count. 1 shot for Lazio, that is all. I'm just going to make a couple of changes. Malejo, despite missing that early chance, we haven't seen much of him since. And Bernard can come on for him on the left. Apart from that, everyone else playing pretty well. Settin not playing great at the back, but I don't want to change anything back there because we've looked okay. We have got a corner. We have the 2 with the corner then. Swung in towards Sheik again. It's stopped play. Are we going to go to VAR? We're listening, I think, as opposed to going to the telly. And we have got a penalty to make it 2 in the derby. The 2 steps up. Can he score? He can't. It's saved. Oh, the 2 with the chance to put us at 2-0 up and probably see the game beyond Lazio. But now we've still got a nervy last 20 minutes. Tonali with the free kick. Ball in. Todibo can't quite get his head on it. Sheik has it on the edge of the area. He's beaten Ramos. He has another crack and it's just wide. The chances are flowing. We just need to put one more away. The 2 dropping to a 6.4 because of that penalty miss. Usually what happens in these instances is that gets even worse. So we will bring him off. We'll bring Gonalons on, who actually played the last game for us with the injuries we had and had a really good game. So let's see if he can repeat that here tonight. And look at that. We should be more than 1-0 up. Can we do it? Florenzi with the ball in. Sheik again. He's hit the bar this time. Patrick Sheik is getting in really good areas. He's unlucky to not have 2, let alone 3. And with 15 minutes to go, it is still only 1-0. Is there going to be a late twist in the game that we don't want? Zaniolo on this right-hand side, struggling for a bit of fitness. He's key for us. So we'll get Kulusevski on. I can't make any more subs, of course, because we did Greenwood early on. So ignore that completely. We'll go with what we've got for now. Florenzi from the deep. Todibo heads. Is it in? Is it a goal? It is! His second goal of the season, both coming from set pieces. The second goal for Roma against Lazio. And that should have secured it and made the last 10 minutes much less nervy than they were potentially going to be. On loan from Barcelona, Todibo has headed home. And it would put us level on points with Juventus. And a really convincing and emphatic performance. Okay, only 8 shots of the 18 on target. But we've not given Lazio a sniff. And the champions of the Derby della Capitale continue to be Roma. That will please the fans. It's pleased me indeed with the performance. If we can transfer that into the Champions League, then there may well be a chance. But these results, especially in the league, are starting to suggest that there might well be a chance that this year we are Serie A title contenders. Very happy with the result and the way we played. A massive win against Lazio. As you can see, we've got Milan next, who are obviously in third, so another big game coming up. Zebra nabbed a late goal to put them back 2 points clear of us, so it looks like the big game that will be coming this year is potentially going to be when we play Juventus. But looking forward to the next episode, I will miss the first Juventus game. We'll make sure that we play them later on and show them on the channel later on in the season. But what we'll do, we'll skip ahead to a potentially massive game in the group stage of the Champions League against Leipzig, and that will be followed by a game against Cittadella, which I would hope we could win, them sitting down in 17th. So that'll be the next 2 in the next episode, but I hope you have enjoyed today's episode, and if you have, please leave a like down below. If you're new to the channel or not yet subscribed, then do hit the subscribe button for more Football Manager content, and thank you all for coming along and watching and continuing to support the channel. Bye bye.